Let me tell you something that happened on Thanksgiving a few years ago, back when I was 13 and spending the holiday with my family in Boise, Idaho. I don't know if you've ever been there in late November, but the nights get cold in a really still, quiet way. Not freezing, just this sharp crispness in the air that makes you suddenly aware of every sound around you. Before I start, I want you to imagine standing next to me while I tell this, because trust me, it hits different when you picture it. Thanksgiving at my Aunt Melissa's house was always loud and warm and chaotic. She had this small, cozy place that was somehow always filled with too many people, too much food, and too much noise. The oven had been blasting since morning, and with all the cousins running around, all the adults talking about work and politics, the whole house felt like a sauna. I remember peeling off my hoodie because I was sweating. Even though it was freezing outside, the air was thick, noisy, and crowded. It felt like the walls were closing in on us. After dinner, when everyone slumped onto couches in that half-sleepy Thanksgiving way, my cousin Sam groaned dramatically and said, "Guys, it's burning in here. I swear I can't breathe." He wasn't exaggerating. The house felt hotter than the inside of a car in summer. So the four of us, me, Lily, Sam, and our youngest cousin Mia, grabbed our hoodies and stepped into the backyard for fresh air. The moment the door shut behind us, the cold hit, and it felt amazing. The porch light washed the yard in that pale yellow glow that makes everything look safer than it really is. Our breaths rose in little clouds, and the air smelled like pine trees and the faint smoke of distant fireplaces. The grass had that crunchy frost on it, and our shoes made soft cracking sounds with every step. Even though it was chilly, we felt free out there. Less cramped, less watched. We started tossing a football around, laughing, teasing each other, trying to burn off all the food we'd just eaten. We didn't notice anything strange at first, but maybe that's the scary part. How normal everything feels until it doesn't. It was about 10 minutes later when we heard it. A sound coming from the back fence. This slow, dragging scrape across the wood. Like someone running their nails or a branch lightly across it. We all froze mid-laugh. Even Sam stopped trying to act tough for a second. Lily said it was probably a raccoon. Sam pretended he wasn't startled. We all tried to brush it off. And we did. We laughed too loud, too quickly, the way kids do when they're trying to convince themselves nothing's wrong. But something about that sound stayed in my head. It wasn't a normal animal sound. It felt intentional. A few minutes later, I noticed Mia wasn't with us anymore. At first, I thought she got bored or wandered closer to the porch, but then I saw her. She was standing near the fence, completely still, facing it. Her shoulders stiff, her arms hanging straight down, her head tilted slightly like she was listening to something on the other side of the wall. It didn't look like she was playing. It looked like she was frozen, like someone had pressed pause on her. I walked toward her slowly, feeling this strange heaviness in my chest. "Mia, what are you doing?" No answer. She didn't move, didn't blink. The closer I got, the colder the air felt around her, like the temperature dropped just in that one spot. When I finally stood next to her, she slowly turned her head toward me. Only her head, not her body, and looked straight at me with these wide, empty eyes I had never seen on her before. And then, without any warning, she collapsed. Just dropped, like her legs stopped working. We all screamed. I sprinted into the house, yelling for my parents, slipping on the kitchen tile. Adults rushed outside, their voices mixing in panic, everyone crowding around her. But through all the noise, my eyes drifted back to the fence. And that's when I saw it. Something was climbing up the wall, not climbing like a person, not like an animal, more like rising, slowly, silently. Just a pale face lifting above the top of the wooden fence. At first, I thought it was a trick of the porch light, a shadow. But no, it was a face. And it was watching us. Its eyes were huge, unblinking, too wide, like it hadn't closed them in hours. And the smile, it stretched across the face in this horrible, unnatural way. Not a friendly smile, not a human smile. A smile that looked excited that we saw it. I wanted to scream, but nothing came out. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. The face blinked once, slowly, almost deliberately. And then, when I looked away for half a second and looked back, it was gone, like it had melted into the dark. Mia woke up hours later in the hospital, confused and scared. The doctors said she fainted. But fainting doesn't make you stand frozen like a statue, or stare at a fence like something is whispering your name from behind it. None of us believed their explanation. Not really. Here's the part I never told anyone. Not the doctors, not my parents, not even my cousins. When everyone was carrying Mia inside, comforting her, calling relatives, trying to calm down, I stayed in the yard for just a moment. Only a few seconds, I don't know why. Maybe I wanted to see if that face was still there. Maybe I couldn't accept that it was real. And in that quiet moment, I heard the dragging sound again. But this time, it wasn't from the fence. It was right behind me. I turned slowly, my heart in my throat. Nothing was there, just darkness and cold. But when I looked down at the ground, I saw 4 long drag marks in the dirt, leading right up to where I'd been standing, as if something had crawled toward me, quietly, carefully, watching. And even now, every Thanksgiving, when the nights get cold and too quiet, sometimes I swear I hear that slow dragging again. Like whatever was behind that fence remembers me, like it's waiting for me to come back outside. If anything like this has ever happened to you, feel free to share your experience in the comments. I'd love to read your stories. And don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Shadow Knight for more amazing and chilling stories.